Hey there, Regina Ainley here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. This week, we are talking all about reinvention. What does that mean? Well, have you ever stopped in your business and went, am I really on the right path? Am I really doing what I'm meant to be doing? Little backstory. I've been doing business consulting for over 20 years. And over those 20 years, my business consulting has completely evolved. Now, back in 2019, when I created Autumn Ascent and went into what I'm doing now, I actually started out as personal development. Why did I start out as personal development? Well, because that's what I really like to do. I like personal development. I'm a Canfield Success Principles certified trainer. I'm certified in positive psychology. I've got all of this stuff. And I just love teaching that stuff. I love the mindset. I love working through limiting beliefs and all that kind of stuff. So I started my business. I restarted my business saying, I'm going to start Autumn Ascent as a personal development business. And it was good. Here's the thing. As I was bringing clients on, as I was working with new people, over and over and over again, every time I had a conversation, we ended up talking about business. And I ended up doing business consulting. Now, it was actually one of my mentors who pointed it out to me because, can't see the forest for the trees. And I really love doing the personal development stuff. And yet I kept coming back to business strategy, business consulting. And one of my mentors said very lovingly, she said, Regina, you're a business consultant. Go be a business consultant. And so I shifted gears from the personal development and moved back into business consulting and business strategy. Now, here's the thing. All of that personal development stuff, it still all fits into what I do as a business consultant. So it wasn't that I lost what I was doing. I kept doing exactly what I was doing before, just maybe in a different way, right? So now I'm doing business consulting, business strategy. And as I'm working with people, I notice those limiting beliefs when they show up. I notice when I need a mindset shift. I notice when there's something going on that we need to manage from a personal development standpoint, which actually helps me stand out. It's something that I do with my business because it comes naturally to me. So here are some signs that maybe you're ready for a little reinvention in your business. Maybe you're not going to start from scratch. You're going to take what you have and maybe just do what I did and just kind of massage it to what you can actually do that provides the most value to the people that you want to serve. So the first sign is maybe what you're doing has stopped exciting you. Maybe it's not bringing that life into you that it used to. You used to be really jazzed up about it, and now maybe not so much. So you're showing up, you're doing the work, and all of a sudden it starts kind of feeling like a job. And, you used to love doing what you were doing, and now you kind of dread it. That is sign number one that maybe it's time for a reinvention. Not a complete rewrite, but maybe it's time to maybe shift gears a little bit. Because you know what? If you're showing up feeling like, I really don't want to do this anymore, guess what? The people you're showing up for are going to pick up on those signals. They're going to pick up on that energy. So you don't want to be in that spot. You want to be the person who is doing and being and helping those people that you want to make the biggest impact for, right? You want to make an impact in this world. And you can't do that if you kind of sort of want to do what you want to do. You need to be really passionate about it, right? So think about that. Just because you don't feel like doing it anymore, it doesn't mean it's time to quit. It's time to reevaluate. That's what reinvention is all about. It's time to reevaluate where you are. So maybe think about one part of your business that really used to light you up. Does it still? If not, maybe that's your first clue. Maybe that's where you want to start to think, what do I want to do with this? The second sign is you're kind of forcing a strength that doesn't fit. What do I mean by that? Have you ever tried a strategy because someone told you it was the way to do it? Maybe it was your mentor, maybe it was your business consultant, and they said, this is the way you got to do it. And you said, okay, I'm going to build my business. I'm going to do it the way you told me to do it. And the whole time you're like, in your gut, you're thinking, this does not feel right at all. Guess what? That's a sign that you need to reinvent. That is a sign that you're forcing something that doesn't feel right. And, you have to be thinking about, are you feeling like you're performing what your duties, performing your job, performing your business, working with the clients, and you're just like performing and following steps instead of actually being yourself? That means you're forcing other people's strategies, that don't fit for your business. Around here, we're all about the unicorn factor. We're all about being unique. What works for me may not work for you. What works for that other person might not work for you either. Maybe it will. Maybe pieces of it will. But you need to find that unique thing that works best for you. So if you're forcing these strategies, trying to follow these models and going, I don't understand why it's not working, there's a big clue. It's time to reinvent. It's time for a reinvention about what you're doing and how you're doing it. So just because that strategy works for someone else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So what strategy or thing are you doing that feels more like a chore than a choice? Think about that. That's worth looking into. So that's number 2. And then the last one is maybe your business has stopped growing with you. Now, this one is, pretty big. People change, priorities shift. What mattered to you 2 years ago may not matter to you now. And if your business hasn't evolved with you and all of those changes, in this age of AI, a lot of folks are going out and getting a lot of AI training. They're learning new things. In the process of learning that, they're learning how to put it into business. They're learning how to do all these different things with it. They're learning lots of new skills that they didn't have 2 years ago. Well, if your business isn't growing with you and these new skills and these new things that you've got going on, it's time to stop and think, hey, what am I doing here? I need to reinvent what I'm doing. It doesn't mean the stuff that you did before goes away. It just means you're adding a layer on top of it and changing it up. So like I said in my early story there with the personal development into the business strategy, personal development is part of business strategy. So instead of me just focusing solely on the business, on the personal development, I said, you know what? You're right. What I do best is business strategy, and everything that I've done in the past is leading right there and leading up to what I do. It's just another layer on top of it. So if your business feels like it's stopped growing with you, that's another sign that maybe it's time for a little reinvention. It doesn't mean that you failed at what you're doing. It means that you're growing. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. That's what you're supposed to be doing. So you have to be willing to let your business grow with you. So does your business, think about this, does your business reflect who you are today? Or is it just running, is it the 1.0 version instead of the 2.0 version of you? So when you think about it, think about your business and where you're going. Are you where you want to be? Are you where you want to go? Has your business shifted, or are you just going through the motions? If you start going through the motions every day, eventually you're going to get really bored really quick, and it's just not going to be fun anymore. It's just going to be another job, and you're not going to want to do it. So The three signs again are the work stopped exciting you, right? You're forcing things that really don't fit, and your business hasn't grown with you. So the question is, now that you know this, and you know have those ideas in your head, think about your business. What is it that you want to change? What is it that you need to change? What do you need to add? Maybe it's a complete reinvention of what you're doing. So like for me, I went from personal development to business strategy. It sounded like it was like a 180, but it actually really wasn't, because in my business strategy, I use all the personal development stuff. So think about where you are and what you're doing. You know, you want to make sure that you're staying in tune with what it is that you do best, and remembering that what you do best today may not be what you do best tomorrow, because you're continually learning new things. It may be that you need to evolve, you need to change it up, you need to shift your business to match who you are now. So that's what we're talking about when it comes to reinvention of your business. It's not a, hey, this isn't working, I'm going to scrap the whole thing and move out. It's about, hey, where am I now, and where do I want to go? And what do I want to bring with me on that journey? And reinvent myself and my business. Maybe, you know, for some people, that means, for some people, they go all the way and they're like, I'm going to do rebranding, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I've done some rebranding myself lately. I have my Autumn Ascent colors that have always been with me, and I keep those. And then with my unicorn factor, and as I'm moving more of that out, my dark blues and golds have been coming in, and I really love them. So they have now become part of my branding. Again, it's evolving based on where I am, where I'm going. It's the same for you. Where are you? Where are you going? And what pieces do you want to bring with you? And what makes it stronger? Because when you reinvent, it's not about something that isn't working. It might be working. It's just not jazzing you up anymore. It's about evolving and making it even stronger, making it even better, not just for you, but for the people you serve. So that's what I've got for you today. Tune in on Thursday at the AI Spotlight, because we're actually going to use AI and do some prompting to help you figure out, well, yeah, something isn't quite right. Something is doing this. I'm not sure where to go with that. I have some ideas and I need to put them together. What is the best way to do that? Well, right now, the best way to do that is to prompt AI and get a little assistance on your journey to your reinvention. So we'll see you there on Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, right here in the same group. We'll see you then. Bye for now.